Alright, in this video we're going to be writing equations of lines given the coordinates of 2 points on the line. And this involves putting together kind of two things that we've already done before. In order to write the equation of the line, we're going to need its slope and we're going to need its y-intercept. And we're going to find those two things, one, using either the slope formula like we've used before, or we're just going to, I'm just going to use slope formula. And then we will use that method that we used in the video for writing equations of lines from point slope in order to write that out to get the other part. I'm spacey today. Anyways, so hopefully you'll recognize the two methods. If you don't, just go back and watch those videos again. Okay? All right. So here we go. First, we're going to find slope. So using our slope formula, and we'll say it's y sub 1 minus y sub 2 over x sub 1 minus x sub 2. So this is just that shorthand way of writing out this is your change in y, this is your change in x. Now it doesn't matter which one is 0.1 and which one is 0.2. So we'll just call this 0.1 and this 0.2. You'll get the same answer if you reverse them. Okay. So let's see, that gives us negative 2 minus 0 over negative 3 minus 0. So that's negative 2 over negative 3, and the two negative signs cancel each other out, and our slope is 2/3. Now we have to find our y-intercept. So we're going to take our equation, y equals mx plus b, and we're going to, this is a statement that's going to be true for every point on that line. Every xy pair that's on the line will make this equation true. So I'll take the x coordinate, I multiply it by its slope, I add the y-intercept, and I get the y coordinate for every point. So if it's true for all the points on the line, it's going to be true for both of these. So we're going to set it up. We're going to say, well, I know the x coordinate, I know the y coordinate, I now know the slope, so the only thing I don't know is the y-intercept. I can solve for that. I'm going to pick the easy point, the one that has all the zeros in it. So we'll say 0 equals 2/3, that's our slope from over here, times 0, that's our x coordinate, plus b. If you look here, well, 0, that's all just 0. So 0 equals b. And now we're ready to write out our equation. It's going to be y equals mx plus b. Our m will be 2/3. There's our x. And then it'd be plus 0. I'm not going to write in the plus 0 because that's really not necessary. All right, and there you go. Just one moment here. I'll get the dog. All right, so let's do another one. First, let's find our slope. M. And so we'll call this 0.1 and 0.2. Doesn't really matter. I'm going to go 2 minus 1 this time. So let's see, we've got negative 1 minus 5. And then we've got 3 minus negative 3. 3 minus negative 3. Be careful that you're keeping your negatives straight in this, okay? Negative 1 minus 5 is negative 6. 3 minus, 3 minus negative 3 is the same as 3 plus 3. That's 6. And 6 over 6 is 1. So this is a negative 1. Now, y equals mx plus b. I'll fill everything in. I'll use, doesn't matter which point I use for this. I'll use this one over here. So our y is negative 1. Our slope is negative 1. Our x coordinate is going to be a 3. And then plus b. So let's see, that's negative 1 equals negative 3 plus b. I'll add 3 to both sides. 2 equals b. So our equation is y equals negative x. We don't have to write the negative 1 there. It's just negative x plus 2. Circle my answer there. Okay. Let's see here. We've got m equals, okay, so I'm going to call this, I don't know, 0.1, 0.2, doesn't really matter. Negative 5 minus 3. -3 minus 1. That's -8 over -4. 8 over 4 is 2, and the negatives cancel each other out, so our slope is 2. We've got y equals mx plus b. Doesn't matter, I'll pick this point this over here. So I've got y is 3, m is 2, x is 1, plus b. So that's 3 equals 2 plus b. I'll subtract 2 from each side. 1 equals b. So our equation is y equals 2x plus 1. Okay. Do another one. So m equals, let's see, -1 minus -3 and 4 minus -2. So let's see, 1 minus -3 is 2. 4 minus the -2 is 6, and that's 1/3. So let's see, y equals mx plus b. I'll take this point over here. -1 equals 1/3 times 4 plus b. -1 equals 4/3 plus b. Add or subtract 4/3 from both sides. This is like I already have -3/3, so it'll be -7/3 equals b. So y equals, there's our slope, minus 7/3. Okay. So here's what I might recommend you do now. I want you just print up or whatever, or get a copy of the next few problems on this worksheet. You can look them up. In fact, here they are. Pause the video, copy them down. Here. Here's the next two. Pause the video, copy them down. Pause the video, copy them down. And finally pause the video and copy them down. So I recommend you do the problems on your own, and then watch and see if I did them the same way. Or if I at least got the same answer, right? Okay. So I'll try and go through the rest of these as quick as I can, because I know you're getting bored. Okay, let's see. M equals 5 minus -2, which is the same as 5 plus 2. And down here we have 5 minus -1, which is the same as 5 plus 1. And that's going to be 7 over 6. We're going to use this point over here. 5 equals 7 over 6 times 5 plus b. 5 equals 35 over 6 plus b. Let's see, this would be 30 over 6. So this will be -5 over 6 equals b. So y equals 7 over 6x minus 5 over 6. Okay. Next door, we've got, let's see, m equals -3, take away -2, that's -1, -2 minus 0 is -2, that's 1/2 when the negatives cancel out. Let's see, y equals mx plus b, I use this point over here, -2 equals 1/2 times 0 plus b, so -2 equals b. Y equals 1/2 x minus 2. Okay. Next up, drink coffee here. All right. M equals 4 minus 1 over 1 minus 3. That's 3 over negative 2, or negative 3 halves. Y equals mx plus b. Y, I'll pick this point over here. Y is 1 equals negative 3 halves times 3 plus b. 1 equals negative 9 halves plus b. I'll add 9 halves to both sides. This is already 2 halves. Oh, wait, that's negative 9. Yeah, add 9 halves to both sides. This is already 2 halves, so it's going to be 11 halves equals b. Y equals negative 3 over 2x plus 11 over 2. Here we have, let's see, m equals 5 minus negative 2, which is like 5 plus 2, and 0 minus negative 2, which is like 0 plus 2. That's 7 over 2. Pick the one that's easy because it's got the 0 in it. So I have 5 equals 7 halves times 0 plus b. 7 halves times 0 is 0. So 5 equals b. So y equals 7 halves x plus 5. Alright, down here, m, 5 minus 4, and 3 minus 0 equals 5 minus 4 is 1/3. mx plus b, I'll pick the one that has 0, makes it easy. So 4 equals, let's see, 1/3 times 0 plus b. 1/3 times 0 is 0. 4 equals b. Notice that point there actually is the y-intercept, so you could actually save yourself these calculations. I hope you notice that pattern. All right, so let's see. So our equation is y equals 1/3 x plus 4. Look here, that point is the y-intercept. We'll see why in a second. I'll go through the calculations just so you see it. M, 5 minus negative 4, which is 5 plus 4, over 0 minus 1. So that's 9 over negative 1, and we're going to put negative 9. Y equals mx plus b. Y will be 5. M is negative 9. X is 0. Plus b. So you notice whenever the x-coordinate in the point we're using is a 0, the whole slope part just goes away, it disappears, and all that's left is b, and then whatever we had for input for y. So y equals negative 9x plus 5. Okay. A couple more here. M equals negative 3 minus 0. And 0 minus negative 1, which is the same as 0 plus 1. So that's negative 3 over, 1, which is negative 3. So y equals mx plus b. We'll take the point with the 0 over here, 0 in the x position. So that's negative 3 equals negative 3 times 0 plus b. So negative 3 equals b. It falls out of the middle there. So our equation is y equals negative 3x minus 3. Okay. Here, m equals 1 minus negative 2, which is like 1 plus 2, and 4 minus 1. So that's 3 over 3, which is 1. Y equals mx plus b. Now I'll pick this point over here. 1 equals 1 times 4 plus b. 1 equals 4 plus b. Negative 3 equals b. Y equals, we don't have to put in the 1, x minus 3. Okay. The one situation, by the way, where this whole thing is going to cause you some trouble, and you just have to recognize it when it happens, is if you run into a situation, for example, put this down here, what if I had 3, 2, and 3, 5, because I'm going to end up with 3 minus 3, this is going to be an undefined slope. So the equation of the line is going to be a straight up and down line, a vertical line that passes through the x-axis at x equals 3. So the equation is just going to be x equals 3 in the end. Okay, so you have to watch out for that because you won't be able to use this method because you can't plug undefined in as your m value and solve for anything. Okay, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Good luck.